Hello everyone. So I wanted to make a video talking about uh, my plans, what my plans are for going forward, and some things that are happening right now. Because you probably noticed I haven't been streaming a lot lately. I think last Saturday, I'm recording, it's June 30th right now, a Friday. Last Saturday was pretty much my last stream. Well, I got sick. I figured it was just the flu. It'll be gone in a week at the most. But then I wasn't really getting better. And then I lost my sense of taste and smell. I took a COVID test. I have COVID. I found out like an hour ago. I must have had it for. I started feeling symptoms last Sunday. So if that's the case, then I've had it for about 5 days now. And I gotta tell you, I have no idea where I got it from. Because I wasn't really going to the gym that much. I only was going to the grocery store. And my dad and I saw a comedy show a week ago. So maybe I got it from there walking outside or from someone indoors. I don't know. I have no idea where I got it from. But it's definitely COVID because I can't smell or taste anything. And the first symptom I had was a sore throat last Sunday. And it it's still there, but it's like a lot worse than it was 5 days ago. Anytime I swallow anything, it just hurts a lot. But looking over some stories that others have, honestly feel like I got off easy. Some people can't breathe, so in that regard, I'm doing fine. I'm wondering what like the long-term effect is going to be if I can't catch a full breath or something, but I'll just because of that, I'm just letting you all know I will be fine. As far as I'm concerned, this feels like a bad flu that is going to take a lot longer to where I feel back to normal. That's pretty much all it is. Like you can tell my eyes are bloodshot. This is about as loud as I can talk right now. A lot of night sweats and stuff. And I get the chills very easily, but it's more whining and complaining. I compared to a couple days ago, I feel a lot better. But yeah, looks like this isn't gonna be going away anytime soon. So yeah, just giving an update about that. So can't believe it. This is the first time I've had COVID. I managed to steer clear of it this entire time. Now I've been double vaccinated and boosted once, so I know I'll be okay. It's just weird. I waited this long to catch it when I probably was indoors more times than like when I wasn't catching it. Strange. Anyway, so obviously streams are going to be lacking quite a bit until I start feeling a bit better. That's going to lead into where am I going to stream, because I know I've made a lot of videos going over some things that Twitch is doing and giving Kick and YouTube more of a try. Earlier this month I went a week straight on both Kick and YouTube at the same time, and it was the experiment wasn't a failure, but it was still a realization that Twitch is where I need to be to make the most money, basically. Sorry. um like the YouTube and Kick streams are okay, but they're still lacking a lot of features. I've talked about this before. Twitch is probably my most preferred site to stream on just for the features alone. But even revenue wise, Kick is advertising the 95-5 split. YouTube has 70-30 memberships. And between the memberships and the Kick subs, I probably have around 200 of those. But isn't it interesting? I still make more money on Twitch with their crappy sub cut and everything. And it's for two reasons: Prime subs and ad revenue. YouTube has very little ad revenue, and neither Kick doesn't have any ads, and both Kick and YouTube don't have a free sub to offer. Around a third of my subs are Prime subs. That's around 200 of them. So even with the crappy sub cut, Twitch is still where I end up making the most money, because I know those 3-minute ads are very, very annoying. But I always try and run them in places that aren't inconvenient to the viewer during downtime, and I always have my spots where I run them. And as a streamer, I found myself really hurting in that department. So Yeah, and then if you remember in another video, I talked about Twitch introducing their Partner Plus program where starting in October, if for the months of July, August, and September, you have at least 350 recurring paid subs, you'll get a 70-30 revenue split on subs. And that's for normal subs and gifted subs. Prime subs are still 50-50, but that's whatever. And a lot of you guys commented in my last video, it's like, you got to do what's best for you, regardless. So I'm taking that advice to heart. I'm going to not do those YouTube and Kick streams for the time being because I really, really want this 70-30 split on Twitch. I really, really do. And the reason it's not, not that it won't be difficult, but the reason I feel like we can actually do this is because if I look back on my previous months in January, February, or March, I was at around 320 paid, non-gifted, non-prime subs, around 320. Whereas I also had around 200 to 210 prime subs. The remainder were gifted. So it's like, that's close. That's like, unfortunately, almost teasing me close. Obviously, June has been one of the worst months I've had. It ends with me getting COVID. That's how bad it was. But just, yeah, just know personally, this would mean this would be a big, big deal for me if I could get that 70-30. It would literally be approximately maybe $400 or $500 per month extra that I would be getting. So yeah, to make this happen, I am going to not do the YouTube and Kick streams for now. If I do end up with a 70-30, I'll still include them as like a once a week or twice a week kind of thing. But for the next few months, I'm going to not do them and focus completely on Twitch to get the viewership, the consistent viewership back up, the consistent subs back up. But also, while doing that, encourage really as many people that will listen to find it in your heart. Well, first of all, to not gift any. But also, if you were doing a Prime sub, to maybe convert it to a Tier 1 sub for, again, July, August, and September. Because, again, Prime subs and gifted subs do not count towards the 350. So if you did that for a few months, that would count, and it would mean a lot. Again, the 70-30 would, from everything I looked at, well, just numbers. It would be life-changing. I would make a lot more from the same amount of support, is the best way I can word it. And I've already gotten, I think, like 7 or 8 people who have converted. And, yeah, that's, that's pretty much it. Again, it would mean a big deal for me if you could find it in your heart, you know. I understand if not, because it's interesting, I think, how Prime subs work. The people who use Prime, it's, some of those people, I think, wouldn't have subbed normally, but they, sorry, I'm very tired if you haven't noticed. It's been a rough last 3 or 4 days. But if you still want to use your Prime sub on somewhere, I would recommend maybe a friend of yours that's streaming on Twitch, or maybe a bigger affiliate or a smaller partner or something. But yes, I would really greatly appreciate it, a Tier 1 sub on Twitch. And again, just for 3 months, if we are able to achieve this, you can go back to how things were before. I wouldn't really care, but just knowing I have the 70-30 would mean a great deal. It really would. And what else? I feel like I'm leaving something out. Yeah, as for content, I'm still going to finish up my business with part 2. I'm not a quitter. I don't relearn something and then put in all the effort and have all the heartbreak just to abandon a project. I'm not, that's just not me. I'm not going to do that. But Or, so I am going to see the part 2 projects through. And when that's finished, I am going to go back to remastered because that's what I really feel like doing. And yeah, I think that's about it. Again, forgive me. My mind is not very clear right now. I'm tired. And apparently sick. Again, the COVID test I took was inconclusive. Red line, blue line. You could see it from 10 feet away. So, yeah. Ah, well. I will probably get back to streaming pretty soon because I cannot take this much time off. The first moment I start feeling even just a little bit better, I'll be back on here. I swear. But yeah, that was the other thing. If you do want to do a tier 1 sub, Twitch has it in place where you can do a tier 1 sub for multiple months in advance, and you end up getting a discount on it. Like a $5 sub 3 times is obviously going to be $15. But if you do it for 3 months in advance, I think you save $1 or something. And I've seen those alerts pop up on my stream. This user has done a tier 1 sub for 3 months in advance. One guy just did a tier 3 sub for 6 months in advance. That's $150. I was a bit blown away by that one. But yeah, that is an option if you're interested. Again, it would mean the world to me. Just as a realistic path to get there, use your Prime subs on someone else for the next few months. And if you are already Prime sub to me, consider doing the tier 1 sub instead. Now, of course, I'm not going to expect this and then just not show up. I eventually need to return to consistent streaming. But like I said, whenever I feel quite a bit better. This is really bad timing because I wanted to just like, really um, come out of the gate guns blazing, but yeah, it looks like that's not going to happen. But I'll be back when I'm back and hopefully we can hit those numbers. If July goes by and we're not at the 350, I will probably abandon it and just go back to what we were normally doing without trying to pursue a goal. But it's again, this would be really this would be a big deal. It really would. But yeah, I'm sorry for those who have Kick subs and YouTube memberships. Again, I will put those back in if I am able to get the 70/30. But I think the highest chance of me getting this right now is to stay solely on Twitch. And again, that's where I feel that's best for me to be anyway. Because yeah, here's one more thing about that decision as well. And I've heard other streamers and speedrunners mention this. It's a lot easier for like a really big streamer to just move platforms because even though they might take a little bit of a hit in viewership and revenue, they're still okay. They're still okay. And really smaller streamers, they don't rely on this income. It's just extra, maybe part-time or something. But for someone like me who is full-time but does live paycheck to paycheck, just the idea of moving an entire community over to 1 or 2 different platforms and expecting the same amount of viewership and support, on paper that could be a move, but in what I've tried in the month of June, it just wasn't really the right move. It wasn't. It's not something I could afford to do. I tried. I'm still happy I tried. It was a lesson learned. But yeah, for someone around my size, it wasn't feasible. I, of course, still want to keep everyone in the loop, people only on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, a realistic chance at a 70/30 split on Twitch, I cannot pass that up. I cannot. It would be a very big deal and could maybe get me back up to revenue amounts that I got during lockdown and stuff. It would be a big deal. So yes, if we are able to hit the numbers for July, August, and September, no gifted subs, and consider converting your Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub for those 3 months. And when you have your spare Prime sub, maybe give it to somebody else for a little while. it would be a shame for it to go to waste completely. And again, if July goes by and we don't hit the numbers, then I'll reconsider things. But yeah, all right, I'm going to not talk now. Again, my sore throat is like the worst symptom right now. I don't know why. It just is. Yeah. Don't worry about me. I'll feel better in like a week or so. Yeah. Take care. Look after yourselves. This whole thing still exists. This is the first time I caught it. It's still out there. But all right. I'll see you guys.